Want to have your own business but don't want to start from scratch? Franchising might be the answer you're looking for. Welcome to the Level Up with Nick Lopez show. The show that brings you thought leaders in business, franchising, and high-performance personal development. Whether you're a buyer, seller, franchisee, franchisor, or a consultant, find everything you need to know about franchising right here. Own a business without the pain and financial losses that come with creating it. Find the time, freedom, and financial independence you can have through entrepreneurship. Learn how franchising can help you get there. Listen up and get ready for another episode of the Level Up with Nick Lopez show.
Welcome to the Level Up show with Nick Lopez, where we have the absolute pleasure of learning from thought leaders in business, franchising, and high performance personal development. Today goes without exception. Today is a very special episode, as it is another episode of the People at Lime series. And today's guest is most certainly a leader at Lime. I'm excited to dive into who he is and the incredible things that he is doing in the Oklahoma City market. I would like to welcome the owner, R.L. Hunnicutt of Lime Painting of Oklahoma City. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. So glad to be here.
So glad to have you, R.L. I mentioned one of the leaders at Lime. You're very actively involved in the Franchise Advisory Council. Thank you for all your service, everything you do. You're most certainly helping us build this special service. We're the nation's first and only luxury painting company. We're defining what it means to experience a luxury painting service. And you've been doing that for quite some time in the Oklahoma City market. But before we dive into all the fun stuff, I'd like to hear from you, RL. How did you find Lime? How did you get into franchise ownership at Lime?
Well, Nick, you know that I'm a faith-based person. And I felt that I was with a company for about 15 or 16 years. And I kind of saw the writing on the wall. We had new ownership, and I saw some things were about to change. And, I feel that I was led to kind of start seeking out other opportunities about maybe 5 to 6 months prior to me leaving the organization that I was currently with. And one of the things, I hired a resume writer, and she ended up helping me with my resume and getting everything on LinkedIn set up. And then what that did was that triggered some franchise consultants to start contacting me. And franchise consultant threw out like 5 different franchises out to me. And he said, these guys here at Lime are, basically back up a little bit. He said, hey, what are some things you want to do? What are some things that are important to you? And I started naming out some of those things. And he's like, look, I feel like these 5 companies would serve, what you want to accomplish and do very well. And Lime was one of those franchises that was on the list. And it came down to Lime and another franchise. And shucks, I of course, you see what I have on now. So I feel like I made the best decision. And I feel like this is definitely part of my path and part of where I am supposed to be in life. And so this is kind of how I started. I always wanted to be my own boss. I grew up around entrepreneurs, didn't realize it as many entrepreneurs I grew up around until I got older. Guy down the street from me owned a candy shop. My grandfather was a sharecropper and had kids, and those were his employees, and he cut hair on the side. Another guy down the street, he had a hay hauling business. So I grew up around all these entrepreneurs, and as I got older, I was slowly starting to dive back into the past to see how they went about things, how they carried themselves. And even though I was a kid, those things started to resonate in my life today. And I said, I've been around these folks all my life and didn't know it. So the entrepreneurship is definitely the path that I'm supposed to be on, and Lime is just, it's a great opportunity. It's been amazing to me.
So you needed to take your career in a different direction proactively. You're acting on that, and franchising, as it does many folks, it has a way of finding us, right? We don't necessarily say, hey, franchising, that sounds interesting, I'm doing that. In fact, most folks don't even realize that something like a paint company could be a franchise, right? But the reality is, if it's legal, it makes money, and it's ethical, it can be franchised. And that's anything under the sun. And that includes things like painting. Obviously, we're pretty niched there in the luxury segment. Really, what that means is we're providing quality. We're giving a quality option in the market. You're most certainly not overpaying, but you are paying for the project to be approached in a unique way with peace of mind, and artisans providing the craftsmanship in high-grade solutions. That is the segment that you ultimately stumbled into and invested and became an owner. You not only have invested your time, your career, and financially, but spiritually and everything else, right?
Right.
So, you didn't necessarily wake up and say, hey, I need to be proactive in my career. I'm going to get into painting. Why this paint business, and specifically in Oklahoma City?
Well, first it started at the top. It started with the mission, the goals behind. I wanted to partner with an organization that that believed in the future and had a good vision, and aligned with my beliefs. And then after that, okay, I feel that part, because that's what kind of gets you out of the bed in the morning is, do I believe in this vision? Do I want to go and pursue this? It's bigger than me. And the next piece of it was, the opportunity. I didn't see a lot of, it just, the painting piece made sense for the market that I was in. It had, tested, it had, I guess, weathered the test of time through COVID, through other opportunities. People are still going to need paint. And once I started kind of honing in on what was painted, it's a whole new world that opened up to me. There were so many things that needed paint. And I said, wow, okay, if there's an opportunity for this, there's a need for it in the market. I'm going to bank on myself that I'm going to be able to solve for that need. And then, from the franchise standpoint, I was able to get my MBA. And one of the things, we took an entrepreneurship course, and it was about 2 to 3 classes. And one of the things that stood out about that class was sole proprietors businesses fail. 1 out of 5 of those businesses fail. Conversely, franchises, 4 out of 5 franchises succeed. And I'm a pretty good person I feel like I follow the lead. If it's successful, I'm not going to break the mold. These guys have done it before me. I have a very practical approach with that. These guys have been successful with it. So if they can do it, why can't I do it? So it's been a proven method, and, follow the model as best you can, add your own little sprinkle of fairy dust in it, and see kind of what can happen. And I feel like that's what I've been able to do here in Oklahoma is just kind of follow the lead, follow the plan. I knew nothing about painting, but you guys did a great job of educating me about painting, and it's worked. Follow the model, and I've had success with it.
So when you say it's worked, right, I think of, hey, bringing value to customers and delivering against a need. In our space, we're helping folks fall in love with their property again. That's ultimately what we're doing. And we're helping them express their personality through the services that we offer. And we're providing highly vetted solutions that we have standardized nationally, specifically for luxury estates. And there are a lot of different surfaces that make up a custom home, from stucco to wood to masonry, from the gutters all the way down to the stamped concrete, everything around the estate. Everything is exposed to sun and water damage. Every surface turns over and weathers. And when you get to your 10th year of owning a home, or since everything has been updated the last time, there's quite a bit of deterioration that has already started to compound and build. And the next step is replacement. And frankly, the cost of replacing these surfaces is pretty substantial on a custom home. And so, I love giving this analogy. It'd be kind of silly if you drove your car and you never flushed your fluids in your engine, you never did an oil change, and you just thought, I'll just replace the engine when it needs to be replaced, right? I'll run it till it needs to be replaced. That's never practical. You can spend significantly less just doing like a 6-point audit on your car and flush the fluids, update the oil change, and just chip away at it. From a home standpoint, you're doing that every 8 to 15 years when it comes to coating and protecting these surfaces. And that time frame of how often you need to maintain is really dependent on the quality and the solutions that were provided up front, right? And so we're shooting for solutions that are going to last 8 to 12 years. Generally speaking, obviously you have random surfaces like a deck or whatnot that are only going to last, about 25% of that time. But even relatively speaking, for that service, we're providing high grade solutions. So if our lifetime is X, most likely what's average in general in the market is probably half the lifetime of whatever we're recommending. But that's value. That's all value for a client in the market. And so when you say, hey, I've had success and I've built momentum, what has it been like living out what I just spoke about, specifically in Oklahoma City?
Well, it's the service aspect to it is one key piece that I feel like has been extreme. That's kind of separated us in Oklahoma from the competition. Just in regards to the proposals, how thorough they are, how worded they are, in great detail. So many clients tell me all the time, well, if your proposals are this detailed, then I know your work's going to be just as detailed. And so we try to be transparent with that process. Hey, here's your proposal. Here's exactly what you can expect to see while we're out, attacking whatever scope of the project that we're currently on. So the full transparency. And then, we're walking them through this process over time. So it's not just I'm going to sell you this job and I'm done with you. It is a walk. It is a journey. I'm checking in. We're constantly following up and we're available, hand over fist to answer any need. And if there's something that is wrong, we try to be out in front of that stuff as best as we can with clients. And I feel like they appreciate that. And then at the end of that, we're holding their hand through the whole process. And then we have to get that good rating. And then that recommendation. That's what's, kind of helped me here in the market. There's not a job that I really haven't walked away from too much to get my feet wet initially, but I'm growing. And some of the jobs and the scopes of what I'm capable to do now is what's allowing me to be more strategic and to be more profitable and do the job right. So those are all just kind of throwing that all in a big pot of soup and stirring it around. That's the Lime way, the OKC way that we're mirroring and trying to make our own and build our own here. So it's been fun and it's been challenging, but we haven't faced any roadblocks that we're afraid of, and we've had some dark times. It hasn't all been peachy, but you look in the mirror, a lot of times that's the person that's got to change it. And you have the willingness to get out and try to make it happen, man. This is a huge opportunity because everybody needs it. This isn't anything that's not needed in the market. So
clearly you can see that this is a highly talented, driven, dynamic individual in the Oklahoma City market, right? This is a neighbor of yours in Oklahoma City, and he's clearly living out his dream, but investing everything that is who he is into serving his community and bringing value. And this is exactly why I wanted to have you on the show. My goodness, you're somebody who really lives out what you preach, right? And what you just mentioned about fulfilling promises to customers, and despite whether there's a good moment, bad moment, as life goes, right? You're always there for your customers, and that's why you have great reviews and feedback from customers, because they know when they work with RL and Line Painting in Oklahoma City, they're going to be taken care of and promises are going to be met. That's not always the case in the paint space, in contracting in general. So thank you for your service. Thank you for your service to the community and defining what it means to receive a luxury paint project. So RL, I'd like to transition a little bit here. We've talked about several things, but just building on this topic of entrepreneurship, again, you doing it in your community, building a business there. Clearly, you grew up, didn't realize there were as many entrepreneurs around you. And frankly, franchising, this idea of business ownership, found you. But ultimately, why did you choose entrepreneurship?
The freedom, the leadership, the challenge, the opportunity to dream. I get emotional about it, man. I talk about it. It's just the ability to make a difference. I have big dreams for this. And what I'm going to be able to do, not just for myself, but for my community and for other people in my family, and for others out there that are going to ultimately team up with me on this journey. That is what I feel the entrepreneurship, I guess, endeavor kind of allows you the opportunity to do. It's not just about you. You don't get to where we are, Nick, by ourselves. It's a team thing, but it does require somebody that's going to lead and say, no, we're not going to accept things for the way they are. We're going to rise above that stuff. And the entrepreneurship gives you the freedom to touch every aspect of your business. I needed a challenge. I was in the corporate world, and I was not giving my all that I felt like I could give, not because of my own ability, but because of the constraints that that line of work puts on you. You have to get an okay for this. You have to get the blessing from this person to do that. And you don't have the freedom to really live and breathe the brand or whatever you're working with. And with this, I mean, shucks, this is, I can go to sleep wearing this shirt. I wear these clothes everywhere I go. Someone asks me about it, they're going to hear my spiel. But this is why I chose to get into entrepreneurship. Just the ability to dream and to visualize and to reach for something that's bigger and better than myself. And not be afraid to walk on water, man. I'm a faith walk with this thing. Be prepared. God's going to take you out to the deep, not to let you go, but he's going to take you out to the deep. You got to move from the shoreline of that beach and that coastline. He's got to take you out to the deep. And man, when you get out to that deep, you either gonna sink or swim, and he's not gonna let you drown. So that's it. It's the challenge of it all, and the legacy, of course, with my children, to be able to let them see that their dad is able to embark on this journey, and he did it with the help of others, but he took a risk, took a challenge, and for them to see that, hopefully they'll take that and run with it when their time comes. And so that's why I wanted to do it. I always had a business mind as well. And I felt like, something that I'm fully using the skills and the talents that God gave me in this walk that I'm on for the first time. I kicked myself, Nick. I wish I would have did this 15 years ago.
Right? Absolutely. And my goodness, congratulations on doing it, because so many folks, think about entrepreneurship. They know it's the right direction for them, and they just never really take the action for it to become a reality. And that's just so awesome that franchising found you, right? And clearly it aligned with who you are. And congratulations on not only exploring this, but choosing it, stepping into it confidently. And, you have some big aspirations and dreams. You're breaking ceilings here and paradigms for yourself and the people around you. And that's going to require, navigating and stretching yourself. When you're breaking ceilings, you're doing things for the first time that you've never done before, and developing those skill sets. And that's a special process, but not something that everybody does and gets to experience. Again, so many folks think about it and want to get into business ownership. And for all the reasons that you explained, franchising provides a turnkey way to benefit from entrepreneurship. And, in that position, you're able to investigate, different opportunities that align with who you are. And then you can dive in and provide that value in your community. And whatever your legacy is, whatever your vision is for yourself, the American dream is entrepreneurship, and it can provide for whatever that vision is. So, RL, what do you think qualified you for this throughout your life? What has qualified you for entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. I say now that I've done it, right? I've had people tell me throughout my life I was a leader. I was young, rambunctious. I didn't listen. I went my own way, did my own thing, but they saw something in me that I feel has kind of answered why I'm here and kind of validated some of the things that I may be questioning myself as to why I'm here. But I feel that, the leadership that I have, and then just the ability to bounce back. I've bounced back from so many things in my life, where, from sports, really equipped me with the ability to persevere, to work as a team, to make it not always about you and about others, servicing others. I didn't play a sport like golf or tennis where it's all about me. I played team sports. And, if I win and my teammates don't do well, then that's not a good feeling at the end of the game, And same thing with entrepreneurship is, it's about the partnerships and engaging with others, and how can you help other people win? How do you respond, when adversity slaps you right dead in the face? Are you going to, just give up and say, I can't do it anymore? Or are you gonna, bounce back and assess and critically analyze, and what did I do wrong? And, how could I have done better? The reflecting. So all the things that I did prior to this, I feel maybe some of the people that I started out with here at Lime that didn't make it, because not all of us do. But I feel that, it's all those other little things along the way that built the grit, that built the leadership, that built the toughness, that built the optimism, that made you recognize some of the pessimism, and some of the realities of things that you're just not capable to do yet. Doesn't mean you can't get there yet. I mean, in the future, but right now you're kind of limited. So philosophically, I guess that's kind of things that's kind of helped me. I feel like I'm prepared for this role, but it's ongoing. The willingness to learn and and continue to grow is always at the forefront of where I am. But right now, I mean, I feel that, I'm just getting new layers of skin, new layers of toughness, each hurdle that you overcome, and the hurdles get taller. It's like, oh my gosh, I thought it was gonna, I've been running and jumping over these, but oh my gosh, here comes another one. Like, wow, wasn't ready for this one. So let me try to jump this one. And then you clear that one. And then it's like, oh my gosh, here's another one. So it's just the constant challenge that I feel like we all need in order to run this entrepreneur race.
Constantly being stretched, constantly growing, especially when you're in your first year, second year, third year of entrepreneurship, right? Especially year one, my gosh, you're drinking from a fire hose and you're expected to deliver at the standard that the market expects and the brand promise. And so there's a lot of pressure around that to fulfill and live up to promises. And that's, that is something that is very commendable, because it's that constant pursuit of fulfilling promises and that pressure that you apply to yourself to do just that, right? And eventually, all those muscles are grown, all of those first times are mastered, and all of a sudden, things are humming along, you're in stride. But depending on how big your vision is, you may not be done being stretched, because in order to get to the next level, in order to level up, you definitely need to be stretched. But the beautiful thing is, once you start developing those muscles, leveling up, you have those muscles that allow you to make decisions in uncertainty without all the answers, but still make informed decisions. But just that, make decisions and do the behavior, and in time, those level ups are pretty clear.
Right.
So RL, you've been in this journey now, and most certainly in stride. What are some things that stand out to you? What are some milestones that you'd like to share?
I would say, I mean, my first year was, and shucks, I'll be with 2 years here. I first started my business in October. So, but I would say just some of the milestones, the things that I missed my first year in business, the amount of sales that I was able to do, and then what I was able to learn throughout that year was I guess surprising. I felt like I still left a lot of meat on the bone that first year. I was like, wow, if I would have done X, Y, Z, I was like, wow, I could have really, really did a little more here. So that was a huge milestone, just being able to do it and survive, that first year, man. It was tough, but it was just, letting me know that, man, I can do it, and then going into the second year, being able to anticipate and being able to feel and see things happen, having a better understanding of kind of what it is. So I would say that second year, that the milestone for me would be just the knowledge gained from doing this. Ultimately you're going to get, that much better at it. And that's what's been kind of, I guess, for me, it's just been the learning curve. Things are slowing down. I'm able to anticipate things. And as a result, I mean, I know we've talked about, that multi-million-dollar job that I've landed. It's been a slow process with that, but it will, it's finally got everything ready to go. We're gonna start that job in January. And it will ultimately be more than I envisioned in regards to what the original scope was. So landing $1 million plus job has been a huge milestone. But I feel like God knew how to bring me along for that, because once I hit that job, everything that I've learned, the crews, the scheduling, all the fire that I've been through, I know I'll be able to run that job flawlessly, as well as still maintain the other parts of my business, is what I'm excited about. Like, that one job is cool, but we're not stopping there. We still have bigger fish to fry. So yeah, those are some milestones there. Just the original first year, and then moving to the second year, and then being able to land a job that big. It's been a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has come from developing the skills that have qualified you to land a job like that. So, RL, congratulations on many different fronts, right? When you hear the statement, we work in beautiful places for beautiful people with beautiful people, what comes to mind?
Lime, baby. I mean, that's this color alone. Who can be mad when you see this color? Okay, that's the beauty, right? I mean, look at this. I am fashionable with this color. So I have the shoes to match. I mean, I'll go out, man. Like my swag is impeccable when I show up to work, man. Like, I mean, I'm swagged out. So I'm bringing good cheer, good moves, good vibes. I try to bring that positivity, that contagious attitude, to any room I'm in, because it's a blessing, man. I mean, this is huge. Yeah, we have stress. Yeah, we got all these other things, but man, let's be happy. Let's not, yeah, there's some things in corporate we all want to look at and be like, wow, why are we doing this or that? But man, we're all working. None of us are perfect. We're in this thing together. It's going to take all of us to try to help. So, let's just try to put our best foot forward and bring a good attitude and try to help the next person next to you, man. Because that's what Lime's all about. That's what I try to bring to Lime. That's what I try to bring to my markets, what I try to bring to corporate, home office, my relationships with all the other owners is, look, let's work together and try to make this place something that we all can be proud of, because this is what we do, So why not make your environment the best you can?
And clearly you can see why RL Hunnicutt embodies what it means to be a leader at Lime. RL, again, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your service in your community. And thank you for bringing tremendous value to customers, serving them well, and doing it in beautiful places for beautiful people with beautiful people. My goodness, RL, final question for you. Lime stands for love, integrity, mission, and excellence. Hearing those values, which one, I know we all kind of ebb and flow, but currently, what is your favorite Lime value and why?
Ooh, that's a tough one. They're all great. I think that, I don't know. I feel like the L, the love is kind of the building block of everything else. It's kind of the foundational piece, I feel, before you can do anything else, before you can have the integrity, before you can have the mission and the excellence and, inspiring others. You have to have passion for this. You have to have some love for it. And love's going to wake you up in the morning, and love's going to make it hard for you to leave when it's time to go. And you have to love what you do. You have to, I mean, as much money as we're put into this, and the sacrifice, and, everything that's gone into us being entrepreneurs, if you don't love this, you're not going to have any of the other pieces to love, to Lime, really, the mission, the excellence, any of that other stuff. You have to, it starts there with love. And if you don't love it, you're not going to do good at it. You're not going to go the extra mile to deliver that pie, to get that smile. You're not going to do the videos. You're not going to answer your clients' calls when, they're probably getting on your nerves, calling you about this, and I thought you were doing that. You're not, if you don't love it, you're not going to do it. And, with everything that we do, we have to give it our all. And if you don't have that love for it, you're in the wrong business. Time is too short. Go do something else. Don't waste your time doing something you don't like, that you don't love. So give it your all. That's just the way I approach it. But love is the one that means the most to me.
I'm not all that surprised. That you went with the L, but delivering happiness to our customers, right? Delivering a key lime pie after the project and just going above and beyond, delivering world-class service. Clearly, you heard the values: love, integrity, mission, and excellence. Very dynamic set of values, right?
Right.
Not only are we a heart-led organization, people-focused, servant-led, you can see all that here with RL, but there's a high bar, right? There's an expectation of excellence, and that's the Lime way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So very dynamic set of core values. RL Hunnicutt, thank you so much for giving the world a look into the people at Lime. If anybody is interested in getting in touch with you, how can they do that?
So we're on all social media platforms. Our website here is Lime Painting of Oklahoma City .com. You can find us on Facebook, Lime Painting OKC, Instagram, Lime Painting OKC. Follow us on YouTube, Lime Painting of OKC. And then, yeah, those are our 4 major platforms that we're on. So
you heard it. Check him out. He's got plenty of featured projects on there. There's some pretty incredible, customer testimonials that he has across the platforms. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel. It's how we're able to share more of this information, have wonderful leaders like RL on the show. Like, comment, and more importantly, give us your thoughts down below. Let us know if RL inspired you or showed you some of the benefits of being an entrepreneur. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, level up.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Level Up with Nick Lopez show. Remember, it's never too late to get started on your entrepreneurial journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed today's segment. Catch us again next week and visit limepainting.com for more of the Level Up with Nick Lopez show.